What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Not Today. I'm Jen Sturger.
Eddie Pence.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.
On an audio medium.
I brought the finger guns.
On an audio medium. We thought we might do something a little bit different this week because we always start out and we talk about ourselves a lot, which is fine.
That's all this show is, practically.
Yeah, really. I mean, but we wanted to find out more about you guys. So a few weeks ago, we actually put up a couple of times asking you guys for listener questions.
Yeah.
And wanted to know a little bit about where you guys come from, what you guys do, stuff you guys want our advice on, because clearly we are the authority.
Have you listened to the show? We're a fucking mess.
But you know what? I think I trust advice more from people who are messy than people who like seem to have it all together.
Yeah, well, messy people are in the shit.
Yeah.
People seem to have it all together. I don't think
the only person I want to have it all together or appear to have it together is my therapist. And like my medical professionals. I need them to have it together.
I want all my doctors to know what they're doing. Not like, I don't know. What do you think?
No, it's more like I don't want them to come in looking like they just came off a bender. You know what I mean? Like I want them to look like they can't be a hot mess.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to like go
into
into
tuck their shirt in.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a doctor's appointment and your gynecologist looks like they're going through it. You know what I mean? Like you're like,
I've had a day.
Anyways, let's get this over with. So you guys left us some pretty interesting questions. Eddie has not seen any of these.
I have not.
He is completely flying blind. So these are his honest responses.
Exactly.
Genuine responses.
I've not had time to cook them in my brain.
So this is going to probably be a disaster.
It might be.
Anyways, one of the things is a guy wrote us and said, I like to keep paper towels by the bed to blow my nose. And the wife replaces them with tissue paper and calls me ghetto. Is she wrong?
Yes. No, she's not. Well, it's the first time I heard it. She's not wrong.
So he keeps paper towels by the bed.
Yeah, you need to do the tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah, paper towels
Why would you want your face to be that raw? What are you blowing out of your nose that requires heavy duty?
Snot rockets are coming out of your face.
Bounty level.
You need the quicker picker upper to get that. What the hell, man?
Quicker picker.
Why would you do that?
Just a quicker picker.
Quicker picker. And it's a paper towel roll. It's so big.
They're so raw. They're so raw.
Oh, it's rough as fuck.
Yeah, no. I can't have raw stuff on my face or other areas of my body. You know what I mean? Like, that's like when
Do you have good toilet paper?
Yeah, I have
like soft?
To. Yeah.
Like Charmin-esque?
Soft to the point where my plumber hates it.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you're ruining your pipes. And I'm like, I'm keeping my butthole nice.
See, Tracy, it's soft to the touch.
This is a comfort. Exactly.
And you'll never know.
Exactly. Enjoy your 2-ply. Scott.
Fucking Scott. Scott's is the fucking worst toilet paper.
No, that's the name of my plumber.
It's also the name of the worst toilet paper. Scott's. Tracy and I have separate bathrooms.
Okay.
We use separate bathrooms, which
that's
I think
smart.
is
That's how you guys are still married.
I think it's the secret to a long marriage. She has the worst toilet. She has gas station level grade toilet paper.
What?
It's like Scott. She buys Scott's.
No.
Which is like the 1-ply, like literally when you go to pull it off the thing, it just dissolves into your hand.
What is she doing?
It's like Thanos snapped and the toilet paper just fucking goes away.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
Do you have different toilet paper?
I have Charmin like 12-ply. It's
Wait, so you guys have 2 different types of toilet paper in your household?
Absolutely. I have Charmin. I get Charmin, whatever, Ultra Soft.
Has she ever used your toilet paper?
Yeah, and she bitches about it.
Why?
She's like, it's so soft. It's so soft and comfortable. Why you use? No, it literally because she thinks it gets too linty under there.
Oh, that's a
side
concern.
effect.
That is a concern.
It is the side effect of having a comfortable wipe.
Well, we also have to wipe for everything.
You do wipe for everything.
You guys just wipe for
half. The number 2 is not the one.
Exactly. If you have to do it all day long.
That's what boxer shorts are for.
If you have to do it all day long,
I guess.
It's like doing
you go through a lot.
It's like doing too many loads of laundry. You got to pull out the lint. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to clean out the dryer.
Well, you need the lint catcher.
The dryer lint catcher. Oh, sorry.
Her complaint is that she goes through too much toilet paper because you guys wipe all the time.
We do.
So it's a better value to have the Scott's, which is, I guess it has more sheets on it because it's thinner.
Yeah, but
and I just can't. I can't.
But I don't know.
I can't wipe with it.
It's just not. But it's not a matter of. It's quality over quantity for me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's also not wanting your finger to fly through it while you're using it.
Eddie,
the shit's weak. It's weak. I don't want.
It's like that game when we were little. Do you remember that game? Don't Break the Ice.
Yeah.
When they literally, it was like penguins, and like you had to like stretch like a toilet paper ish type thing across this like fake lake, and then like you'd put stuff on top of it, and like the whole idea was to see how much shit you could put on top of this before the paper would break. Yeah. That's exactly what Tracy's doing in the bathroom every time she goes.
Like. Don't break the ice.
Don't break the ice. I remember those jingles.
No. Charmin Ultra Soft. It's like a warm washcloth up your ass. It's so nice.
It's amazing. You never transitioned to the bidet?
No. Someday when we own a home, we'll get a bidet.
You can get portable ones.
I know
you've taken off some.
I've uninstalled one. I've uninstalled a used one.
Listen, no one should ever question your friendship to the fact that you have uninstalled another man's bidet.
I have uninstalled another man's used
bidet. Like, if that's not friendship.
If you don't think I'm a friend, fuck off. That's all I have to say.
So funny. So yeah, no, your wife is 100% correct in this. But
absolutely.
Also like, just take better care of your skin, dude.
Yeah,
like you're gonna end up making all that skin raw. Like
it's gonna be rough, man.
You can break out. Like there's all kinds of things. Like a dermatologist would cringe so hard if you told them that you were rubbing your face with a paper towel.
In a pinch, in an emergency, you gotta blow your nose. Yeah, grab whatever you can that you can throw away.
We've all been trapped in a Target bathroom.
Right.
That hasn't been serviced in a while.
Had the fucking brown paper towels.
Brown paper towels, or even worse, toilet seat covers.
Oh.
Where we're like, these are desperate times.
I've never been down that road.
These are, that's how I know I can survive.
That's like wiping with wax paper. It's just going to smear it everywhere. Why would you do that? You're better off just pulling your pants up dirty.
We're going to make cookies. So gross. Listen, we've all done stuff in desperate times, but we're grown-ups now. And listen, she's just trying to domesticate him. That's what it comes down. Like, men need to stop acting so feral.
Well, when Trace and I first moved in together, I never bought napkins.
Okay.
Because I would just get them at McDonald's. I would just grab a stack at McDonald's.
Oh, so you were stealing.
I would steal. But
I thought you were going to tell me you just used paper towels and like folded them.
No, I would just grab, whenever I was get fast food or wherever they had paper napkins, I would just grab some extra ones. And over time, you stockpile napkins. I never had to buy napkins. And so when Trace and I moved together, she came home with a thing of napkins. Like, why the fuck did you buy napkins?
She's like, I saw you were grabbing them all the time.
She's like, I'm sick of wiping my mouth with Burger King napkins. I'm like,
why? We have sponsors.
Burger King, if you're listening. So yeah, she domesticated me in that way. Oh, we buy napkins now. I never bought napkins.
I love that. You guys are making each other better.
Kinda.
Someone wrote us and said, "Is 29 years old too old to chase a dream?" Sorry, I stuttered on that. Is 29 too old?
Did they say what
to
their
chase
dream they're chasing, or have they started chasing it, or are they just now beginning?
Say. It was just like putting it out there. I will say this. I don't believe in arbitrary timelines that we put on ourselves. I think when you do that, like you're setting yourself up to be unhappy.
Well, wait, in life or in art, in career? Because like last episode, we were talking about biological clock and stuff.
Biological clocks are different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like those are timelines that are set somewhere else. Those have nothing to do with us. It's just
this kitchen's going to close at some point.
Exactly. It's just the times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just these are the rules of life and nature. You know what I mean? Like that is different. However, chasing your dream, like it's never too late to chase a dream, in my opinion. Like I started comedy when I was like 30?
I had known you, so
I think
you did your first set when we were doing the Steel Chair Slamcast. That was like 2012,
when was that?
13?
Was that 2012?
Something like that.
I think I was like 20. I was 28 in 2010. Whatever. I was around 30 when I started doing stand-up. I think I was 30 years old when I started doing stand-up. And I, to this day, think that it's the best chance I ever took on myself.
Yeah.
You know? It's the best chance I ever, that and my first boob job. But this is the best chances I've ever taken on myself, you know, is
you have to follow your dream no matter what age you are. Now, I
think when people fuck up is when they allow other people to tell them that their dream is stupid or that their dream is like, I was always told that I would never be able to make money as a performer. Were we ever told that?
Oh, I think on the way here, someone yelled that at me.
I meant like when you were younger.
As I was parking my car.
When you were younger, people never were like, oh, Eddie, that's dumb.
Well, the thing is, I never told people what I wanted to do when I was younger.
Really?
No, I was too embarrassed by it.
What did you want to do?
I always wanted to be a comedian.
Always.
Always.
This is always what you've wanted to do.
Always wanted to be a comedian.
Well, not the podcast part,
Not
but
the
you
no,
always
this
wanted...
is just a gnarly side effect of being a comedian.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to be like that. Ever since I was a little kid, I just wanted to be a comedian.
I wanted to do comedy. I used to watch like Carol Burnett and stuff like that. Like I always wanted to be a performer, and I knew I was funny.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily go stand up. You know what I mean? Like I was like, actress. You know what I mean?
I always want to be a comedic actor and
Same.
a stand-up comedian. Like that realm I always wanted to do, and I never told anybody about it.
Same.
Until I started doing it.
I told everyone, and my parents said, no, go to college and get a fucking
Well, that's the problem.
real
When you
job.
tell that to people at a young age, people are like, no, you have to do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe follow that after you get all this other stuff taken care of.
I think you're onto something though, Eddie. I think it's more about don't tell people about your dream. Like keep it precious until you've done enough work around yourself that you don't need their validation on your dream. And then you can talk to them about it. You know what I mean? Like if you tell someone your dream and it's like infancy, like a lot of times there's people out there that I just call them spirit snipers.
They'll step on it.
They're spirit snipers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just out there to tell you,
They'll
oh,
piss
it's
on
dumb.
it. They'll
Yeah.
piss on it.
So don't do that. Keep your dream close to you until you're ready to share it with people.
Well, because I knew that's the only thing I ever wanted to do. So
And then-
I never told anybody because it didn't matter what anybody thought.
But when you are ready to, you got to lean full into the cringe. You know, lean into
Yeah.
the cringe and just fucking go for it.
And I don't know what your dream is, but if it's in the performing arts, just fucking go for it. If it's something else, you just have to go for it. Whatever it is, granted, the later in life you try to follow your dream, if you're 29 trying to start your dream, life gets more complicated the older you get. You have more responsibilities. There's more things you have to take care of. So you can't drop responsibilities and other people count on you for certain things.
But
so,
I saw people in my acting classes that were in their late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
And I was like, how long have you been doing this? They're like, a couple of years. They're like, I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people get
and
that
they're
age.
booking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But they're not booking action roles and
They're
stuff that
booking
were
commercials.
but they're
and shit
booking
like that.
commercials.
Yeah.
They're booking like the grandmother roles
Yeah,
and
fucking
stuff like that.
Preparation H commercials and shit. Yeah.
It's paying their bills. Beats being a Walmart greeter to them. You know what I mean? So like it's they're following their dreams.
It's never too late to follow it. I mean, you have to give it a chance because you don't want to be turning 49 going, why didn't I do it at 29?
Yeah. Somebody asked what got us into comedy, which kind of goes hand in hand with the last one. I actually remembered who it was that got me into comedy last night because I happened to be scrolling through HBO and I stopped on the movie Trainwreck, which I shouldn't have done. But I stopped on the movie Trainwreck.
Yeah.
And I was watching it and I had it in the background. And the guy that I interviewed, I'd forgotten his name. His name was John Glazer. He's a comedian, actor, writer. He was a writer on Conan, all these different things. He had a show called Delocated. I interviewed him for a project for like a show I had on Spike TV in 2012.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're super funny and quick. He's like, have you ever tried comedy? And I was like, no. And I was like, how? I wouldn't even know how to get into something like that. I've always loved it.
Yeah.
I love comedy.
But
I said,
where do you apply?
Yeah,
for
exactly.
comedy?
Yeah. They don't tell you where the door, how to get in. You know, like with college, it's like, well, this is how you become this.
Fill this out and mail it away. And we'll let you know.
We'll let you know whether you're accepted. Comedy's not like that. Comedy is open to everybody, you know?
Which is the great and scary thing about it.
Oh, he's telling me about it. But I saw him and it made me smile because I was like, oh, I'd love to tell him how much he changed my life that day.
That's cool.
Yeah. He probably has no idea.
No doubt.
That it's all his fault.
You did this.
But it's one of those, we talked about it last episode where you're like, there's that one moment that changes everything.
There's that pebble in the pond that causes the ripple.
Yeah. That was my Cameron Diaz moment. That was the moment someone told me I was funny and I never forgot it.
Yeah. See, for me, comedy, like I grew up watching, Looney Tunes. Like as a kid, you watch Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And I always enjoyed laughing, like making people laugh when I would reenact my friends on the playground ever and doing something that made them laugh. Like I like how that made me feel.
Yeah.
And then because I've always been sort of socially awkward, more introverted. So
Same.
I've never been.
And people would never guess that either.
Not from comedians. They don't ever guess that.
But we are.
In a social setting, I'm very introverted.
For sure.
And it always was my way of like connecting with people is trying to make them laugh. And so as much as that stunted me as a social person.
It diffuses feelings of like awkwardness and like not belonging. That's what I've always used comedy for, is that and getting out of trouble. Getting out of trouble, avoiding vulnerability. Like those are all the things that I use
They're all coping mechanisms.
Comedy
it's
for.
Just a big giant coping mechanism. But then I'd watch Looney Tunes or Gene Wilder, and Mel Brooks movies. I'd watch Tim Conway and Kel Burnett, the Kel Burnett Show, and Tim Conway cracked me up. And then I saw, like I've mentioned this before in other podcasts, the first comedy special, a stand-up comedy special I saw, because I knew Robin Williams from Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
But the first stand-up special I saw was 1985. He did Live at the Met on HBO. It was his first stand-up special. And I watched it. I was like, what is he doing? He's just up there on a stage talking to people, making them laugh. I'm like, I want to do that. And then after that, I was
funny.
I was just hooked on stand-up. And so I started watching all the HBO specials, like Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedians All-Stars. I saw Seinfeld for the first time, and Kinnison and Bob Saget for the first time. And I just started watching. I was like, this is amazing. I want to do this. And then so ever since then, I've just always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I didn't get exposed to stand-up comedy. It was more like comedy movies and stuff when I was younger.
That's it's everybody's first thing.
And then I think, again, it was Robin Williams.
Yeah.
For me, it was Robin Williams too. And it was his special that he did live on Broadway that I just sat there and watched over and over and over again.
I wore out the tape. The Live at the Met thing, I wore it out.
Yeah.
I watch it almost every day.
That's one of those celebrity deaths that hit me really hard.
Me too. And I was never like tried to emulate him. I never wanted to be like Robin Williams. I never wanted to be that guy. I mean, and as a kid, I loved him, but he was just like, he showed me what it was like to take a room and make a room full of people laugh. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I didn't want to do it the way he did it. I wanted to do it the way I do it.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
That's a mistake a lot of comics make, is they find someone that they think that they like. And it's like, that's not your voice.
No. But
I had a girl that I was working with and like helping her write stuff, and she was a huge fan of Shane Gillis. And I was like, girlfriend, you look like an American Girl doll. You don't.
You can't be.
You do not have the same audience as Shane Gillis.
Yeah, you're not
and
going
you have to accept that. You know, I'm like, his audience does not mess with you. When you chase an audience that's not yours,
no,
it's not good.
You have to be yourself.
Yes.
And every comic learns that. They always start out trying to, like, I'm going to be this type of comic. You know, no, you don't know what type of comic you're going to be until you get up there and you start doing it.
Yeah.
And then you find out what type of comic you are. And then that's when the audience comes to you. But yeah, you can't go up there and try to be somebody else.
No.
And that's why I never watch comedy. I hardly ever watch stand-up comedy anymore.
See, I watch comedy all the time just to kind of know what's going out there in like in the ether. I kind of want to know just what's like in the zeitgeist to make sure my stuff is original and stays original.
That's what kind of the reason I don't watch it, because I don't want to know what people are talking about.
Yeah.
And like, I'll see if my buddies at a show, I'll watch the show I'm on.
Yeah. But you're not like actively seeking it
I
out.
never watch a show ever.
Oh, you're missing out. You have some really talented coworkers.
I don't think so.
I mean, there's also some
No,
trash.
they're talented. I just don't want to watch them.
Well, next, speaking of not wanting to watch things, someone wrote us, and this is an interesting one, Eddie.
Yeah.
My wife is asexual, but she also doesn't want me to jerk it. What should I do?
Jerk it. Right? With both hands. Fucking pepper grind that. Pepper grind it? Fucking dude.
That is, I don't think I don't think you guys like that one. No offense.
I do.
You like a pepper grinder?
I like the pepper grinder. I enjoy the pepper grinder.
You learn so much.
If it's only not dry, you have to lube the pepper grinder.
You like a good dry rub?
No, I don't like a dry rub.
Should we throw some sand and chalk on it?
No, I like a St. Louis wet.
You're like, it really helps the grip.
Wet. Just fucking don't chalk it up. Don't LeBron James it.
It looks like you're like putting pine tar. It's the pine tar incident. It's the pine tar.
Don't pine tar it. Definitely don't pine tar it.
Some dude's accidentally done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, the pine tar incident. Hey, you mean the one with the nope, the one back in the bathroom. I think these are hard things to give people advice on because
we don't know the relationship.
You don't know the relationship. You don't know the dynamics that have been at play here for a while.
But if you accept her being asexual,
yeah, or
him, or who I don't know, I guess him, or her, she's asexual, and he's.
I don't think someone else can enforce. Sometimes when people are asexual, it's based in trauma, and I don't think it's fair to punish other people based on your personal trauma.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like and this is coming from someone with trauma. Like I can't subject somebody that I'm with to
just because whatever is happening triggers
whatever's happened to
you.
me doesn't mean that it's going to trigger them. Yeah. And I think it's like you have to come to some kind of consensus in your relationship of like boundaries and what you're comfortable with.
Right.
But there's a difference between boundaries that like make each other feel safe and like imposing something on someone else. And this kind of feels like imposing
a little bit.
a law on
Because
somebody.
in a
Do you know what I mean?
relationship, I mean, she's
People have needs.
yes.
People have needs.
And as a partner, you try to meet that. You try to help meet that person's needs.
Yes.
You try to be open,
That
giving
said,
partner.
If your partner doesn't want to have sex, don't push it.
Don't push it.
Do you know
Absolutely
what I mean?
don't push it.
Don't push it
But at the
because
same
it's going to make
time-
them resent the shit out of you.
But at the same time, you're also a
You're
human
also
being
allowed to honor your own needs.
that has wants and needs.
Yes.
That need to be met in the relationship.
And these are sometimes the things where I think this can, like, not having sex can really test your relationship and to see how much you actually like the person.
Yeah.
Because I think you get like a little dick drunk. Do you know what I mean? Well, no, you don't know what I mean.
I
but
don't
yeah,
know what you
well,
mean.
you can get drunk on like
All that dick.
on the on the effect of hooking up with somebody is what
Right.
I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I feel like once you physically hook up with someone, you get flooded with all these hormones, and it can sometimes affect the way your brain works in relation to that person.
Oh, sure. Of
Do you know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I forget what it is, but I think it's like women's brains get flooded with like oxytocin when
Yeah.
we have sex. That's
It's
like
the
the
love-
that's the
the love
bonding and the
hormone.
love hormone.
Yeah.
You men only release oxytocin when they love someone. Otherwise, all it does is it makes them release a shitload of testosterone, which is why the majority of men become dicks after they sleep with you. But I feel like if this is a new thing that's just happened, I feel like it's a conversation to be had. Do you know what I mean?
would
To be like,
definitely
hey,
talk to a counselor or
For
a
sure.
therapist. Get a
go
third,
to couples therapy
get
together
a professional third party involved.
for sure.
Not two talk show hosts on a podcast.
Yeah,
We can give you our opinion on it, but
Yeah,
I would
no.
definitely.
neither of us are. I mean, I am almost qualified. I went to school for that,
Well,
but
there you
I. And I mean, listen, you're never going to learn more about yourself and about therapy than going to therapy yourself.
Yeah. So I would definitely
Um,
get a professional involved.
Get a
with something
professional
like that.
involved and communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate with each other.
Communication is always key before you even get into therapy.
But
Communication's
if
key.
it can feel like this can honestly feel like a very vulnerable conversation to have. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think for a lot of people, when you bring up sex, it's like that feeling of like, well, I'm not enough for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that can bring, and if it like taps into some core wounds of your partners, like
Yeah.
you're going to be an uphill battle.
Right.
Do you know what
But
I mean? That's
just-
why it's so important. You should probably get a third person
Absolutely.
involved.
Because just
And by
because-
that, I don't mean a girlfriend. I mean a therapist.
get a unicorn. Find a unicorn.
No.
Bring her in.
Eddie. No.
But if she's asexual, you're not obviously asexual. So you have needs too. So she has to respect the fact that you have needs as well. And you're not going outside the relationship to meet those needs. You're just self-serving your needs.
Yeah.
Which to me
It's
should
like
be absolutely
it's like
fine.
Yogurtland. I'm just handling it myself.
Yes, I got it myself. I'm going to put a lot of toppings on this, and it's going to be 12 pounds worth of chocolate on top of this. But
Oh.
yeah, I would talk to a professional, but I would at the same time, I think you have needs as well. So
Oh. Dude, that reminded me of the time that I was babysitting Colton. I took him to Yogurtland.
don't ever take him to fucking Menchie's or Yogurtland.
Dude, I took Colton to Yogurtland and I was like, he's a little kid. How much is he going to eat?
$15
I
worth.
shit you not, Eddie. It was a dollop of yogurt. And I
Oh.
was like, oh, that's all you're going to get, bud?
Oh, no.
And then when we
That's
got to the
That's the
toppings,
base.
when we got to the toppings, it was insane. Like it was literally a bowl of candy. And
Yeah.
when he put it down in front of the guy at the counter, they looked at me like I was the worst babysitter of all time.
Yeah, you can't take him to Menchie's.
I was like, well, this is a fast track to diabetes.
It's fucking dude. He will fucking pour a whole bag of M&Ms on ice cream.
Respect though.
Oh yeah.
He loves toppings.
Fucking
Good for
loves
him.
toppings.
Let's see. What's some other stuff we got? Oh, someone asked this question.
Mhm.
They're like, I'm estranged from my family. Like I find their dynamics to be toxic. Am I the
Don't we
one?
all?
Am I the one in the wrong?
No.
This is an interesting question because I think it's twofold. It truly depends on how open the other people are into looking at their own stuff. And sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
And so then you have to put boundaries in place. I don't necessarily mean you have to like be estranged, but you
Yeah.
should put boundaries in place, you know?
Absolutely. You can love your family. You can love the people that raised you and not necessarily, I'm not saying like them, but not get along with them.
Yeah.
You can
You
have,
don't choose them.
you don't choose your family.
You're kind
But-
of stuck with them.
But at the same time, you don't have to literally engage with them constantly and then be a huge part of your life.
Yeah. I just have to, I set boundaries, you know, like
Yeah.
that's something that my family and I don't always get along about stuff.
Yeah.
And I have found that since I've put boundaries in place to make myself feel safe, my relationship with them has improved.
Yeah.
And I just think understanding where people are coming from in terms of, and understanding their limitations is really important when you're setting boundaries. And like when you, like your expectations of people, again, it's like we said, it's like when you know what someone's limitations are and what they can give you in terms of emotional involvement and stuff like that, you don't take it as personally anymore, where you're like, this is all they can give me.
Right. And I know that I recognize that I have a brother and we're very different people. Complete, like politically,
Which one are you
emotionally.
again?
I'm the older one by 18 months.
Yeah,
or
you're the Burt pancake too.
I'm the Burt pancake.
Same.
He's the baby and gets treated as such.
Isn't it great?
Yeah,
it's so great.
But he's great, and I love him. We don't always get along.
Same.
The more time we spend apart, the better we are when we're back together again. If we spend a lot of time together, we will.
Do you fight?
We disagree, and I've learned in the last.
When you were little, did you guys fight?
All the time.
Did you guys kick the shit out of each other?
Beat the fuck out of each other. Because we were literally 18 months apart. We were like the same size.
21.
Yeah.
21 months apart.
So we're the same. You're the same size. You're practically the same age.
That's too much. What were our parents thinking?
I don't know. 4 years. That's a great time between siblings. But we were like your sister. We beat the fuck out of each other.
It like breeds competition when your kids are too close.
Breeds a lot of competition, and but they still hold the place as the baby.
Yeah.
And you can't. No matter what happens, it always defaults back to
It's like the dinosaurs. We're like, I'm the baby, gotta love me.
Right. That's exactly what it is. No matter what you do.
And you're like, you're a piece of shit.
You're a fucking piece of, God damn it. Do you see this?
Getting away with murder.
But like, I love my brother and I love my parents, but as different as my brother and I are, and we're the same generation.
Yeah.
Your parents are different people too. And they also have the layer of a different generation on top of that.
Same.
So it's sometimes you can't connect with these people no matter how much you try.
Because you just will never understand the world that they came from.
And they don't understand
yours.
Right.
Oh, man. When I try to explain anything, any kind of social issues to my mother, she just loses her mind.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh, Karen, sit down.
Now, there are some people, older generations, that try to have empathy for other generations and try to open their minds up and try to see their points of view. And then some people just don't do it. And you can't control that, but it doesn't mean you have to.
But it doesn't make you
estrange yourself from the family. But it also doesn't make you wrong if you don't spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, I don't think you should estrange yourself unless like there was like serious physical abuse. Then absolutely don't go back to that. Do you know what I mean? Like
if it's
that's
toxic
not
and that
okay.
terrible. Yeah,
that's not okay. If people are being physically hurt or emotionally, like seriously emotionally abused, no. But if it's like we just don't get along and we don't see eye to eye, it's just more about drawing boundaries.
Yeah.
And knowing yourself
I'll go
and knowing
home
your
for
limitations.
Thanksgiving, and then I'll see you in 4 years. That's how that goes.
It's like the Olympics, but like the winter ones. I'll come back for the winter one, not the summer ones. I'm on vacation. Oh man. That's it. It's all the stuff that I got from all of the viewer questions.
I'm sure we ruined lives.
Oh, wait, there's one more that I should ask you.
Okay.
You're going to love this.
All right, what is it?
First of all, it says, Happy Pride, guys. Can you be prideful with a small package? What was that?
Somebody yelled no?
Who was that? Was that Mark or Alex? I saw both of them in there.
It was Alex.
Alex, listen, as a woman, I will say...
I don't know. I can't give a response to that.
Guys, no.
I don't think I'm hung, but I don't have a small one. I think I'm slightly above average.
Dude, guys with small ones know they have small ones. And if they don't, someone should tell them. I actually had a dude one time that like, he kept telling me up front how small it was. This was a long time ago. He kept telling me up front, like, hey, just letting you know, expectation.
It's an any.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like, I thought he was making jokes.
Oh.
And he was not.
So that was on you for not taking the
warning
signs.
And I was like, oh, you were serious. We were like out on a date, and he honestly, like, it was part of the opening. It was part of like our opening arguments where he was like, I've had dudes tell me very strange things about their penises in like on dates before.
Weird.
Like one guy, like I said, the one guy, he was like, he's like, it's small. He's like, I just want you to know it's small, but like, I'm a very generous lover. Like that kind of stuff. Alex is loving this. I had another guy tell me like, yeah, I have like childhood trauma. When I was born, my pee hole was on the side of my dick.
What?
I haven't told you this story.
I think it sounds familiar.
I love when anytime guys say they have trauma, it almost always involves their penis.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, same.
It's very trauma-esque.
but-
He could pee sideways?
When he was little, yeah.
That's amazing.
So they had to fix it.
Oh, no, keep that. Professor X will teach you how to use it. Go to the...
You're like, this is going to be a fun part. That's like when my friends used to like wire their rear windshield wiper so that it sprayed the car behind them instead of their own car. But like, that's one of those things that like, I didn't need to know.
No.
I didn't need to know.
Is it fixed?
It's like finding out the Grand
Then we're
Canyon
good.
was man-made. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
I don't
need
need
to
to
know how
know.
this hole got there.
Just let me enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let me enjoy this hole as it is now. I don't care the way that hole was before.
So yeah, no, back to the question. Can you be prideful with the small pack? I think as long as you're a generous lover, I don't think size matters as much.
I can't give a personal opinion, but from what I've heard from other women that say that size doesn't always matter, as long as they know what they're doing.
You have to know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
That's all that
That's it.
matters. That's all that matters. Did you read the directions?
Yeah.
You know?
Can you play the game? Just play it.
Yeah. It doesn't, you don't have to
Use all the buttons.
Yeah, you have to be the best at it, you know?
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can still be prideful with the small package.
And again, communication helps with
and
whoever
not everyone
you're
is a
with.
size queen. You know what I mean? I'm not like you guys, like men, they don't all like the same size boobs.
No.
Or like the same size butt.
Same size different bodies.
Yeah. You guys all have preferences too. Why are women not allowed? Why does
I think
why does super size have to be the default?
Because men feel like that is the thing that brings a woman pleasure. Like that is the device on their body that does it.
Dude, I'm going to tell you a horror story. And I've never said this out loud.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it to all the people listening to this podcast right now. And I'm going to probably immediately regret it. We're going to talk about this and we're never going to talk about it again. There was this one dude that I was friends with back in this is a long time. This is like in my 20s.
Yeah.
We were friends and we got stupid drunk one night and we were going to hook up or whatever. We were like, should we? For like shits and giggles.
Right.
Like one of those things. I took one look at it and I was like, we need to just stay friends. Cause it was so like he had a third arm.
That big.
Yeah. And I was like, absolutely not.
No, you'll split me in two.
That is not. Yeah. I'm not turning this into a Saw movie. Absolutely not. That's happened.
Put your pants on, Jigsaw. We're not doing this.
Do you want to play a game?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No. It's happened multiple times where I've been like, absolutely not.
No, we can't do this.
We can't.
It's too much.
No. I'm trying to think of a good analogy for it, but it's not coming to me.
I think a lot of men think, again, that is the thing that will bring a woman. They don't realize
do you want to know what really
you can please a woman so many other ways than with that.
Do you know what the ways women really want to be pleased? They want to be protected and provided for.
Yeah.
Like you want to really please a woman. It has nothing to do with the third P, which is penis. It's the first two.
Yeah.
Those are the things that women want the most. They want to be protected. They want to feel safe, and they want to feel provided for.
Yeah.
They want to feel
Connect with them emotionally.
Yeah, connect with me emotionally. Make me feel safe.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
That is so much more valuable.
And then
than
let
whether
your fingers do the walking.
Yeah. Then whether your stroke is on point. You know what I'm saying?
And trust me, a lot of it is all pregame.
Right?
So much of it is pregame.
So much of it. Yeah.
It depends on how you do a lot of prep work before kickoff, and she'll go.
You sing the national anthem,
right? Get the fucking Blue Angels to fly over, shoot some fireworks off. Trust me, pregame.
She's already rattling before the ball's even kicked off.
Foreplay is where it's at.
She's vibrating before the coin toss.
Yes. And then it doesn't matter what sides it is. As soon as you do it, whoa. You score a touchdown, right? You return the kickoff for a touchdown.
Listen, Martin Gramatica won Super Bowls, right?
Exactly.
He was on some of those teams. It's fine. You guys kept it weird with these questions.
Yes,
we appreciate it. The last thing we're going to talk to you guys before we leave. I sent this to Eddie because I felt like this was an absolute travesty. Did you see that Texas is trying to ban books that say butts and
farts?
Farts.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't know. farts were written about in books.
Well, I think there's this whole generation that I don't think I had the books when I was a kid, but I think like the generation before my sons and then his generation, they have all these books about
pottying and stuff, right?
Everybody poops and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah, I had that book.
So I didn't have that when I was growing up.
We're trying to ban those?
No, but I think that's where this whole thing of like normalizing all these bodily functions so kids don't laugh about them.
Oh.
So I think there's books about
they're
farting.
still hilarious.
Oh,
I don't think we should talk about them.
A well-placed fart is hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, it's this Texas Student Council.
Some of my deepest childhood trauma is one of my parents farting in the car and putting the child locks on the windows.
Oh, that's
awful.
Ooh, that's something a sibling does, not a parent.
A parent
shouldn't do that.
A parent
shouldn't do
Anyways, now you know why I'm in therapy. I
But,
have trust issues.
The Texas School Board wants to ban it, but I guess the courts.
They also want to ban books like "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret." Things like that. We're like, that's stuff that like tells women that their bodies are okay.
Yeah.
That like the things that our body goes through.
They just want to ban anything that has to do with gender in any way whatsoever, other than like, you're a woman, grow up and have babies.
Jesus.
That's just what they want to do. I don't know why.
I don't know who these people are, but I can't.
They literally want Handmaid's Tale. That's what they want.
You want your kids to learn this from somewhere and not from the other kids they go to school with, because that's how misinformation
all
gets
comes
spread.
from shitty parents that don't want to talk to their children.
Ugh.
They just don't want to have uncomfortable conversations with their children about sex. So what they do is they get on these school boards like, we got to ban this. They can't know about LGBTQ. They can't know about fucking farts.
So kids are just supposed to go through life like kids who are gay
are supposed to
go through life.
They're supposed to grow up, be straight, get married, and have babies.
And feel unhappy and not realize why.
They'll go to church every Sunday and pray about it.
That is such an awful
That's
life.
what that whole sect of people wants to do, that want to ban these types of books. Because they just don't, because they're such lousy parents.
Listen, I think kids are exposed to a lot of shit they should not be exposed to. This is not it.
No, and children are much smarter than these people give them credit for.
Oh, for sure. I was like a little adult when I was young.
So
that's trauma.
Yeah, it is trauma, but they're much more aware, and they see the world around them, no matter how much you try to close it off to them. And they see the world, and they need someone to help, not explain it to them, but discuss it with them, so that they can talk about what they're seeing. And a lot of parents just don't want to have uncomfortable conversations with their kids.
Yeah, my friend, the one that Colton had to save Christmas for, but with the elf on the shelf stuff. He's so smart, my friend's kid. Like, nothing is getting past this fucking kid.
And they're going to have to talk to him about these things early on. He
comes home and asks the most insane questions that you can tell he's really thought about.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where she tells me them and I learn from them. The other day, he goes, so is like all water on Earth, does it have dinosaur pee in it? Fun fact, when you Google it, it fucking does. He came home from school and like they Google stuff together, which is why we got into the elf on a shelf situation.
Yeah.
But all water on Earth contains dinosaur pee.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So you're wondering why Aquafina tasted like Dasani?
It's got a little.
You thought it was Coke? Nope. Dinosaur piss.
Got a little tang to it. We got to talk to you.
You got to talk to your kids.
Look, Colton had questions. And we had a sex talk when he was in 3rd grade. So was that 9 years old?
Jeez.
He learned about sex. I didn't want that to happen.
Where did he come up with it?
He didn't know about sex itself, but he kept asking about where do babies come from?
Oh.
Where do and if there's babies, how are
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that conversation.
Oh, dude, it was weird. I didn't want to have the conversation, and he wanted to know where twins came from. How are twins made? Because he kind of knew about the sperm and the egg.
Yeah.
And he's okay, well, then where do twins come? So we had to understand. And then he had to know how does the sperm get to the egg? And like, so because when a smart child will start going, he asks why, and then you tell him the reason, and then he goes, okay, why now? They keep dissecting it.
100%.
And so a smart child has to have parents that are willing to go, okay, well, I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to tell them where it's coming from. And then they know, and then they're fine with it, and they don't fixate it on anymore, and they move on. And as soon as we told, and then after we told him about sex, about how a man and a woman have sex and make a baby, he's like, okay, well, how do gay people have sex? And I didn't want to have that conversation either.
You're like, this is a mommy question.
But I had to tell, Tracy and I both sat there and told him, okay, well, when two men love each other, this is how they express it physically.
Yeah.
And we told him the things that gay men do.
Yeah.
And he was like, the look on his face was like, oh, like He didn't know that that's what that was for.
Oh.
But he's like, oh, okay. And then he's gone. He's fine with it.
And then he's
moved
gone.
on.
And then you guys are just
And we're like, what
traumatized.
fucking happened? But that's the part of being a parent that these fuckers don't understand. That
Yeah.
you have to be uncomfortable so your kids aren't.
Yeah.
And that he's no longer uncomfortable about it. No matter how uncomfortable I was in that conversation with him, he wasn't uncomfortable. He was learning. And
Yeah,
then,
because when you
and
don't
through
talk
learning-
about it, you stigmatize it.
Right.
You add a lot of shame.
right. And through learning comes acceptance.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with him. And he's never questioned it. It's never been weird to him. It's just the way it is. When two men love each other, two women love each other. That's the way it is. But it's these fucking people and these school boards in these conservative areas that want to just not have uncomfortable conversations with their kids because their kids are going to be gay or trans or straight. No matter what they do, that's who they are.
Yeah.
And so banning a book or telling them no or making them go to church and cover and repress all it's not going to change anything. You're just raising miserable people.
Listen, there are plenty of books that should not have been read out loud in school.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I don't know if you remember The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
Like, when you have to read that along the class,
Yeah.
like you're reading it out loud in the class
Yeah.
together.
It's a hard word to say
Yeah.
in front of kids.
Yeah. That's a great way
Yeah.
to get your ass beat on the playground.
no.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are we still making people do this?
Don't talk about different people that are, that are different. Talk about homosexual children or trans children or whatever, and let them be accepted and grow up normally.
Yeah.
Or at least there's no normal, but let them grow up in a
Let
world
them
that
read
feels
a book
safe.
about farts. Who cares?
Fucking, I hate
Farts are
fucking-
hilarious unless you're trapped in a car.
Oh my God.
Trapped in a car after hibachi dinner.
Oh, that's
why I never wanted to go to. I never want to go to hibachi because I know, like, I have like such an aversion to going to hibachi now because I'm like, it's Pavlov dog to me where I'm like, oh no, like I'm gonna be so
This is
triggered.
farts.
This is my Vietnam.
This is a fart restaurant. It's my own private
this is my
Vietnam.
When the guy's making stacking the little onions up and he's like going choo choo, I'm like, this is.
You're getting PTSD.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no.
You weren't there.
You
don't know.
I'm gonna Uber back. I would like to be by myself. Thank you very much.
So funny.
Eddie, I think it's time.
Oh, it's time.
Let's do it.
Alex likes this song. I think it's his own personal music that he made on GarageBand. That's why he's trying to promote it so hard. We're playing Florida Man Friday. I read Jen Sturger 3 Florida Man headlines, 2 real, 1 fake. She has to tell me which is the fake Florida Man headline. Alex is going to play along. Here we go.
God, I'm killing it lately.
You are killing it. Let's see.
See if my
keep the streak
can
alive.
stay alive.
Florida man in dog costume arrested for sex with dog. Florida man dresses as pirate, attempts to steal yacht with homemade cannon. Florida man tried to pay for McDonald's with weed. Florida man dresses as pirate, attempts to steal yacht with homemade cannon. Which one is the fake Florida
I feel
man
like
headline?
you're trying to use my Florida knowledge against me right now.
Yeah.
And I think 2 is the misleading one.
Okay.
Because I think I'm from Tampa.
Yeah, you're big into Tampa.
And I'm going to think that it's related to Gasparilla.
Gasparilla.
And the Buccaneers.
The famous parade where everyone dresses as pirates.
Yes. I think B is the fake one.
Alex?
Mhm.
Hey, you're going Florida man. It seems aggressive. Dog costume arrested for sex with dog. Your winner and still champion, Jen Sturger.
I knew it. I knew you were going to try to swerve me. You cannot swerve this.
Gasparilla's the giveaway.
It is. Stay away from pirate stuff,
I'm going to
dude.
stay away. I've lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
I'm AI. I'm evolving.
Caught on to you now.
I'm slowly evolving. I'll take.
You really thought, Alex, that the dog costume was too far? This show exists, Alex. There's no holiness left in this world. I wish there were better people out there.
Me
That makes
too.
me disgusted.
Me too.
Paying for McDonald's with weed.
That
I know
happens.
that's so. I was like, oh no, that's totally something that I would have done if I was smoking weed and like realized I didn't have any.
It's like, hey,
money
man,
where you're like, hey, bro, I don't
how about number 3 for this?
for this joint. Yeah, for a joint, not for like an eighth. That's like way too
No,
much
it's
money.
too- you're
Yeah,
overpaying.
exactly. Yeah, you're overpaying for
It's
McDonald's.
Like,
yeah,
it's like 2 20 pieces.
yeah. Eddie, where can people find you?
At Eddie Pence on all the socials, or go to eddiepence.com.
You can find me at Jennifer Sturger everywhere on social media, guys. Thank you so much for sharing us, and you keep helping us grow this fun little show. We hope you enjoyed us answering your questions today. You guys brought the weird.
Yeah, you did.
I appreciate it.
Bring more.
Bring more. We love it. We love it. We can't get enough. But we're so grateful that you guys are finding us, old listeners that are coming back and new listeners that are finding us and just appreciating us sharing our lives. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Please keep sharing us. Give us a 5-star review. Do all that jazz. And we'll see you next time on Not Today.